That sandwich was so good, but it was so filling and a lot that I had to get changed. Literally perfection. I have unlocked the secret to joy. Okay, good morning guys. For the first day on Monday, I wanted to try out a new thing, a crispy shiitake mushroom sandwich. So we started to use the young man cooking recipe for his oyster mushrooms. I couldn't find oyster mushrooms in my local zero waste shop, so I just found what I could. Zero waste shops are having a really hard time at the moment, lots of them are closing down, so I just want to be able to support my local one as best I possibly can, and that means adapting recipes, it means doing lots of different things. So this has got a double coating. You go dry, then you go to the wet coating, then you go back to the dry coating, and then you deep fry them. It's not exactly the healthiest option, but sometimes you just want to treat yourself. Because I work on Sundays, Mondays are kind of my Sunday, so for me this was a pretty extravagant Sunday lunch. I've been spending quite a lot of time alone recently because my family's not here, it's just me and the cat, and sometimes it's nice to just spend that time trying something new. So to layer up the sandwich, I just toasted the ciabatta, then I'm adding some black truffle mayo, which is obviously vegan, and then I am layering it with some greens and yeah, those crispy shiitake mushroom nuggets. They would be really good just on their own, to be honest. And I'm having them with some of my homemade hot sauce as well. This is aged like 4 months now, so the flavour just gets better and better. That sandwich was so good, but it was so filling and a lot that I had to get changed. I could no longer wear my jeans. Anyway, that sandwich was really good. Those crispy shiitake mushrooms were like so crispy on the outside and buttery, creamy on the inside. They were so delicious and not rubbery at all. The only thing I would do differently is I think instead of having a ciabatta, I would probably have a vegan brioche bun instead. Something softer so that there's a bit more change in textures, I think, and maybe another sauce that's a bit more maybe creamy so that it's a little bit softer, a little bit more wet to go with all those sort of dry ingredients as well. Yeah. Okay, see you tomorrow. If you've been following my sourdough journey, today is the day. Today is the day we started the whole process. We made the levain, we made the autolyse, we left things for hours and hours and hours, and you'll see how my first ever sourdough turned out. But first, we're making bagels again. So I created the levain, which needs to go for about 5 hours. And while that's happening, we're making bagels. I made bagels maybe 2 weeks ago now, and I put a reel up on Instagram, so if you don't follow me on there, go and check that out. I make lots of cooking reels. But we are making more bagels because I wanted to have a bagel for lunch today, but also a bagel for, any other time during this week when I could not be bothered to make them again. And I love to meal prep things like this because it makes life so much easier. I used the Joshua Weissman recipe. Obviously I'm very new to baking, so I'll put his recipe in the description below. Of course, we're adding everything seasoning because it's divine. And while those are cooking, we're going to be making the inside. If you've never had chickpea tofu, it is It's really good. The flavour is really, really nice. And this is a locally made one in Brighton. It's Burmese, and it's just a really good alternative if you don't like eating too much soy, or if you can't eat soy, but you still want to have something that's sort of tofu-esque, that's got relatively good amount of protein, got a good flavour, and is a good alternative. Okay, this is only my second time making these bagels, but I think they turned out really well. Again, I'm so pleased. Then I'm still not very good at making sure that all the ones are the same size. I mean, bit of disparity there. While these cool down, I'm just gonna have a try of this. I love bagels. While these cool down, I'm gonna have a coffee and eat this, maybe with some vegan butter as well. And then I'm gonna make my sandwich for lunch. Oof. Always worth the effort. Literally perfection. Literally. Okay, now we are 5 hours in. No, we're 4 hours in. 1 minute, oh my goodness. An hour before our levain is ready, we need to make the autolyse. I don't know what this means, I'm just following the rules. That rests for an hour, and then you add the levain to the top of your autolyse. You spread it out on top, you make some squishy marks apparently, then you do some weird thing, you add salt to water, you add that in, and you try and incorporate it all. As you can tell, I still don't have the language to quite describe what the hell it is I'm doing. After a lot of slapping, it goes back in, and then every 15 minutes you do this sort of stretching, and then you do that 3 times, and then every half an hour you do this kind of stretching again. I got bored of filming this bit because it was just the same thing over and over and over again. So I will see you in the morning. Good morning everyone, I'm just having my porridge, which is literally so boring. It's just porridge with some frozen berries and some sesame seeds on top. So the whole process of making the sourdough took quite a long time last night. I had to do 3 folds and space it out 15 minutes, and then after those 3 folds I had to do another 3 but space them out every half an hour. And then after the last one I had to leave it for an hour and a half, then shape them, put them in their banner tins and put them in the fridge. I only had 1 banner tin because I didn't want to buy another one, because if I'm crap at making sourdough I don't want to buy stuff until like I know that 1, I really love making it, and 2, I'm actually capable of making it. Anyway, I've put my Dutch oven in the fridge, in the oven, wow. So I put the Dutch oven in the oven and you heat it up for an hour, and then we are going, then this has all been working towards the past 2 weeks. So then we'll put our sourdough in there, we'll see what happens. I think you bake it for like 20 minutes, then you take the lid off and you bake it for another 40 minutes, I can't remember. I will find out before I put it in, don't worry. And then hopefully we will make a delicious sandwich for lunch. Maybe we'll have an open sandwich. I'm feeling quite like I've had a lot of sandwiches this week because, well, sometimes when I can't be bothered to make dinner, I'll just have the same thing for dinner as I did for lunch. Anyway, I'm gonna finish my breakfast and then we're gonna get the sourdough in the oven so that by lunchtime it should be ready and fully cooled down. I really hope it works out, otherwise you guys are gonna see this absolute fail. But do you know what? As my boyfriend says, you have to fail to fly. Does that make sense? I'm not sure, but I like it. So while the sourdough is cooling down, I actually realised that I had another baguette that I really needed to use up before it went stale. So I'm just making a wild garlic pesto with some wild garlic that I foraged the other day. You've got to be very careful and very mindful when you're foraging, just to make sure you don't take more than 1 or 2 leaves per flower, or plant rather, and yeah, you've got to be, never take the bulbs. Okay, so after I made the pesto, I'm making some tempeh. I really love tempeh. This was a gift from Club Cultured, or Culture Club Cultured I think, and I'm just using some of the olive oil from the sun-dried tomatoes to give it a little of extra taste, and then I'm just layering everything. It's super simple. You've just got the wild garlic pesto, sun-dried tomatoes, tempeh, and some rocket. And this honestly was one of my favourites. It's really simple but really flavourful, especially when you're using fresh ingredients like wild garlic and yeah. If you've never tried fresh tempeh before, oof, we've been missing out. That sandwich I think was honestly up there as one of the best. Who's also great is Shiitake. So I just want to say a massive thank you to them for continuing to support my channel and sponsoring today's video. You guys know I've been a massive fan of Shiitake for a really long time, and I absolutely love this little attachment on the back because it means I can watch things when I'm cooking so that I can be kept company with a YouTube video, or I can just have things held up if I'm looking at a recipe. It makes things really easy and really convenient. And the best part is that the Shiitake is compostable, and not just any compostable, at home compostable, which is ideal. So if you're interested in checking out your own compostable phone case from Pila, I will leave the link in the description below, along with a little discount for you as well. The sweet chili sauce was going to take a long time to cool down, so my brother brought me over a sandwich that he made for me instead, which was like cauliflower baked on a little roll with some salad and some hummus and stuff, which was actually really delicious.
Vegetarian lunch for me.
I'm so proud of you for choosing a veggie meal. No, I actually am. Hello, welcome to Friday. So we're going to be doing a classic hummus, falafel, salad, sweet chili sauce. But I wanted to show you that I tried again to make another sourdough. It's a little flat, but it's very beautiful. I think what happened this time is I did not score it deep enough so that we didn't get a proper ear. When that happens, obviously it helps it to puff up more and rise and whatever. But I mean, still sounds quite good. Not as good as it could though, but you know, that's still a pretty loaf that I'm gonna eat and enjoy, you know. We'll cut that open once that has cooled down properly. I'm gonna try again on Sunday. I went for a bigger loaf as well this time, so I didn't chop it into 2, I just had it as one big one because I wanted to see what would happen, you know. It's time for lunch. Let's make this sandwich.